I'll show you animate, and you'll see why. And I bet a lot of you like animate more than Photoshop. So that same thing I just did in Photoshop, you'll see how easy it's going to be in animate. So you make a new document, 1920, and you don't have to necessarily follow the 1920 1080 rule every single time, but it's kind of good. Illustrator is good because you can also do puppet animations. You don't. It's not necessarily just a frame by frame animation thing. You could make a drawing, and you could use like bone tools and stuff. You could put bones on your characters and different stuffs. It's quite a nice software. So this is the interface of Adobe Animate. It has a defined timeline. If you look here, it has a defined timeline where there are frames. So now for Illustrator, let's say I want a guy or I want someone to just mm, go from point A to B. Let's say. So the thing about Illustrator is it's a vector application. So if I draw now, let's say I do this, no matter how I zoom into the stuff or these lines, it maintains its quality. With Photoshop, if I should, if I should enlarge this now, it doesn't lose its quality. But with Photoshop, if I should enlarge this, as once I enlarge this, it could lose its quality. It always breaks. Yeah, but the thing about using Animate is that it maintains its quality regardless of how much you scale your drawings or anything you change. So now I want a character to just be from, let's say, standing. And these are not perfect drawings because I'm, I'm better than this. Let's see. So character standing. And we're going to do cleanups for this particular one because I'm more familiar with the software. So this character is standing here, right? And on the second frame, once I just drag this stuff like this and I just start drawing, it creates a new keyframe for me. So this is a keyframe. These are just other frames that will just be duplicated there. But this one with the circle is the keyframe. So now I could draw the same character standing here. I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. I'm just winging it. So we'll see how this turns out. So now I could come in between this stuff and I could put on my onion skin if I can find it. So if you hover over all the stuff here, all these options, you will see what they are for. I can drag this here to see that my character is standing right there. Then I just draw in between. So this is the good thing. This is why I like this software because you can clearly see what you're working with. Unlike Photoshop timeline, you well, it's quite hard to see. It's hard to see what you're working with. You're just seeing the figures changing down here, but I've not been able to see a way. or maybe there are plugins you could download that will help you to be able to see each frame, to be able to edit it. But with Animate, you can see what you're working with. If I know that on this particular frame, I want this character to be doing this. So that's like the advantage, or that's like the main advantage I know that Animate has for animation over Photoshop for me. So now this tool here. So at this point, it's just basically repeating the same drawing, or just trying to make what do you call it? Changing the moves that the person is going to make. If you just imagine it in your head, how the person is going to be at a particular duration of moving between this pose to this pose. So uh, I can make this, make him like stand here. So I know that this leg is going to be up now, and this leg is going to be backwards like this. Uh, all these rough lines don't matter because this is just like the skeleton of the work. When you have, when you're done with it, you can go in to go and make like more further edits. So I don't have enough space for to make this character complete his work cycle. So what I could easily do, Illustrator, is that I can just click on this keyframe and drag it forward. And dragging it forward will just allow me make new frames. So here's why Adobe Animate makes it really easy for you to like tweak your frames, tweak in between your frames, and just like, so this approach that I'm using for to show you guys here is like there's pose by pose, and there's ah it's such a long time for me to blank out. So yeah, this is the pose by pose technique. There's the straight ahead technique. The straight ahead technique is what I showed you guys in Photoshop, which I just started drawing. I just started drawing straight ahead. I did not have to go back to look through my movements to, and there was no even any way for me to even go back to try to tweak what I was working on, because there's no way for me to know exactly uh, how to put in frames in between what I've drawn before. So that's the good thing about Animate. It allows you to do both straight ahead and post to pose animation. So this is not perfect, but at least the time allotted, we can do something. So since our guy is finally making it to his destination, put your leg back, his leg forward. And I guess it's here. So now to play it, it's on 30 frames per second. You could easily just click here, or rather modify document. You always want to try to make sure that your animation is on 12, because I don't want to do a ton of drawings. If I hit enter, you can see the movement. I could also go in and say I don't want to do any further drawings. I could click on it and make it like 7 and hit play. So easy. Simple animation. I could even hit something like F5. Animation is mainly about just timing. Like when you have all your drawings, like several drawings and stuff. So we're just adjusting the timing. As rough as this looks, we're just adjusting the timing. We can have something looking good. So now that's basically it. Animation 101. You can make a new layer, zoom in, and just draw over it. So select your colors here. You have a variety of colors. Just fill. So if you're doing character animation, once you have a single head and the head is not going to turn in different directions and whatnot, you can just name that layer head. And really, if you have your head already drawn, you could make a new keyframe. The shortcut for making keyframes is F6. So I know that the head is going to remain the same. The thing that is mostly changing in this whole animation is the body. So I can just use just like my free transform tool to just move the head. Rather than drawing it over and over again, I can just move the head. So this head is basically just like a puppet now for me. The main frame by frame actions are from your, what do you call it? I guess now I go off my onion skin. Are from your sketch, which is your animatics. So F6, I'll just move this, turn it around, just whatever you feel like doing, really, having fun with it. Is this helpful information, guys? Is anyone learning anything from this? Okay, F6, F6, F6. So if I put on this layer now and I hit enter, you can see it's already coming alive. So animation, guys, that's it. So yeah, I was thinking